James Melendez, James the Wine Guy. Sole purpose of this video is to talk about a descriptor for this wine here, Sauvignon Blanc. So stay tuned. So I'm very fascinated by this because a lot of people will use the term cat pee, especially as it reflects to New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, and I'm not sure I agree with that. I find it to be actually, I actually find it to be something that's so unpalatable that I can't even approach that because I think I have a very weak stomach, and the scent of cat pee is just something that I just cannot tolerate. It is absolutely disgusting. It's acrid. It is almost like that biological laboratory smell, and autoclave these scent profiles, and that's one that I just cannot stomach. For me, I think I think it's a way of describing a very grassy style. So I think maybe another term people use is grass, and I find that to be much more applicable. Maybe intense citrus notes, maybe it's alfalfa, but it's really deep green notes that I think come out. Now, if you really compare and contrast a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc or Sauvignon Blanc in that style, I think there's no comparison. I don't think it's cat pee. Cat pee does not smell like wine, and vice versa. And so really it's to talk about how we think of that. And for me, that term is so negative that when I approach that, I'm just, I don't want to hear the term when I'm drinking this. Who does? Right? It's here to talk about wine. I'm here to drink wine. Maybe if it is a New Zealand wine, I want to use a different term. And I have never utilized that term, at least in my own descriptions of Sauvignon Blanc or other wines. I just don't think it's appropriate. And it's not because I'm too prim and proper. It's not that. It's just, I think it's just, when you find something disgusting, why would you want to apply that? So for me, it's to make that mark here. And I also wanted to put this label on this Sauvignon Blanc. So the contents inside are truly Sauvignon Blanc. I didn't really want to show this particular producer, not because I'm ashamed of them or because they are producing a that term, grassy Sauvignon Blanc. It's not that. It's that I will never reveal what this wine is because it's to really show truth in video, and that is when I'm doing a video, I want to really display and talk about exactly what I'm tasting, not something similar to. And so I just pulled this from my library. It's important to talk about and use truthfully the same subject, and what you're highlighting here should always be in your glass. I know it goes without being sad, but I really believe in that honest feedback and that honest way of talking about wine, the grassy characteristics. So X out of that cat pee word, and I'm going to put in the grass word, and the grass descriptor to be more precise. So I think I'd love to know your comments on this. I'd like to know what you think about this. I'm going to purposely post this as, Sauvignon Blanc or cat pee, Sauvignon Blanc wine, ? And I'd like to see what the responses are. I think some people are going to really marry to that, and some people are really going to say that that's really the characteristic and that's close to it. Cat pee has never smelled like wine, in my opinion. Never can, never will be, and it is to me, one of the most offensive smells ever. And it's not against cats, so I know there's a lot of people who love cats out there, but there's some scent characteristics that my stomach just can't handle, and they just linger on, and it's just something that's not pleasant. So I also was going to say at some point, I was going to start off and say this is my Sauvignon Blanc, and I put a label on here showing this is my first test bottle. That's not the case. Someday I will produce wine. I'm not sure if it's going to be Sauvignon Blanc or sure what it's going to be yet. But I chose this. I actually designed this myself because it was fun to do. So list your comments below. I'd love to know what you think. If you don't want to put them below, put them on Twitter. It's a great discussion point. So more reviews, and please stay tuned. Now, I don't often do just the topical matter, and I do a lot of individual bottle reviews. So stay tuned for that and other topical matters, right? And it's not going to be on this, but I also have been very experimental and willing to try different things, expanding that envelope, because it's really to have a more, I think, universal view of what wine is, and no sacred subjects either. So that's the viewpoint. More to come. I'm on most social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, Google+, and Pinterest. Thank you so much for watching. More to come. Salud.